Hi guys. So today I'm going to walk you through a few problems from mathematics past question booklet I ran into. Now this particular topic is algebraic fraction. So what we need to do first is to collect like terms. So we have 3 over 4. Now this is negative 1 over 4. It crosses the equality sign and becomes positive. So this is 1 over 4. Then we have our 2 over 3 into bracket x plus 1. Then the next step is now this fraction is supposed to be solved easily by just adding up the numerators, but because in some cases you might be working with denominators that are different, so I would rather show you the conventional way of doing it, which is to look for the LCM first. The LCM of 4 is 4. So you say 4 goes into 4 one times. 1 times 3 is 3. Bring your sign. 4 into 4 again. 1. 1 times 1 is 1. Then you have this. Now I'm going to open this bracket. By opening the bracket, I mean multiplying everything inside of the bracket by what we have outside. So this is 3 times x, 3x, 3 times 1, 3. So we've got 4 over 4 equals 2 over 3x plus 3. Then the next step is to cross multiply, meaning we on the left hand side, the numerator of the left hand side multiplies the denominator of the right hand side, while the denominator of the left hand side multiplies the numerator of the right hand side. So we have 4 into bracket 3x plus 3 and 2 times 4. Then we open this bracket. 4 times 3x is 12x. Then 4 times 3 is 12. Sorry. Then 2 times 4 is 8. So 12x equals 8. Now we're still going to be collecting like terms because this is not carrying the unknown x. So it crosses to the other side to meet it. Since it's a positive number, it becomes negative. Then we have 12x equals 8 minus 12 is minus 4. Then we divide through by the coefficient of x because x is that value for which when it multiplies 12 gives us negative 4. So what is that value? We're going to find out when we divide through by 12. So this 12 cancels this 12. Then we are left with this 4 goes here 1 times, 4 goes here 3 times. So we are left with negative 1 over 3. And that is our final answer. So now the next question we're going to be working on is a problem on linear scale factors. Similarity of shapes. Now this particular question is saying that the linear scale factor of two similar shapes is 4:7. If the area of the bigger shape is 490 centimeters square, what is the area of the smaller shape? Now, how do we solve problems like this? This is telling us that the two shapes are similar. So the first thing is to take note of the scale factors. The scale factor we have is 4:7, which is 4 over 7. Now, since the question is now talking about areas, so we need to get the area factor. Now, to get the area factor from scale factor is simply by squaring the scale factors. So what we're going to get is 16 square over 49 square. Now I'm going to write it. This is what we call the area factor. Then the next step is to compare the area factor with the area of the shapes. So we have 16 over 49 square. Since 16 is for the smaller shape, and that's what we're looking for, the area of the smaller shape. So I'm going to denote it with x, while the bigger shape is 490 centimeters square. Yes, so now that I've got this, what all I just need to do is to cross multiply to get the value. So I'm going to get 49 times x, giving me 49x. Then I have 490 times 16. 490 times 16 to give me that. Then when I multiply, I'm going to get, okay, so let's do a quick multiplication of that. 490 times, so we can just multiply it quickly here. Now this is how we multiply. 6 times 0 gives you 0. 6 times 9 is what? 54. Then you carry your 5. 6 times 4 is 24 plus 5, 29. Then 1 multiplies everything and gives you exactly that. So this, then you add this up. So this is 0, 4, 8, 7. So this is what you get. 7, 8, 4, 0, then 49x. Then the next thing we do is to try to get the value. Okay, so we need to get the value of the unknown here, which is x. So we divide through by 49, and then we have that. So now this cancels this, so we're left with 49, sorry, 7, 8, a second, 7840 divided by 49 gives us 160. So the area of the smaller shape is 160 centimeters square. So that is it. Then we'll go straight to another problem. The problem here is a problem on proportion. And this particular question says a motorcycle uses 15 liters of fuel for a journey of 75 kilometers. What distance will 40 liters cover by the same motorcycle? So all I need to do first of all is, since they say 15 liters, so let me call this I. Since 15 liters uses covers a journey of 75 kilometers, then I need to find out now the question says what distance will 40 liters cover. So I would need to find out the distance that 1 liter would cover for me first. So what am I going to do? I'll say 1 liter is going to cover 75 divided by 15, and that's going to give me 5 kilometers. Yes, so 1 liter is going to cover 5 kilometers. Now the question says what distance will 40 liters cover by the same motorcycle? So since I know what 1 liter would cover, then I'll simply multiply the distance that 1 liter would cover by what 40 liters would cover, and that's simply going to be 40 times 5, 200 kilometers. So therefore 40 liters is going to cover a distance of 200 kilometers. That's it. So the second part of the question says how many liters will be needed for a distance of 350 kilometers. So all I need to do is to find out how far. I need to find out how many liters will be needed for a distance of 1 kilometer. So that's what I'm going to do. So what I would need to do is simply say if 75 kilometers uses a distance of uses fuel of 15 liters, then 1 kilometer is going to use 15 over 75, which is 1 over 5, and which is also given as 0.2 liters. So 0.2 liters of fuel is going to cover a distance of 1 kilometer. And since I've gotten that, the next thing to do is to use this to multiply the distance we're looking for. So for 350 kilometers, I'm going to multiply it by 0.2. Then that's going to give me 70. So I'm going to be needing a fuel of 70 liters to cover a distance of 350 kilometers. Okay, then the final question I'm going to be working on is on pie chart. Now, this question says the pie chart above represents the population of a village. The number of children in the village is 3,000. What percentage of the population are women? The next question says, what is the total population? Excuse me. What is the total population of the village? Then how many men are there in the village? So what I need to do is, first of all, the pie chart has been represented for us in angles. Now you discover that we have our men. The angle for men is 90 degrees. Then for children, (150 degrees). Then for women, now since women weren't told us, it wasn't specified the exact angle, but we know that a pie chart has to do with 360 degrees. Okay, that's the total angle in a pie chart. So since we have 150 and 90, I'm simply going to add the both of them and subtract from 360, and that's going to give me 360 minus 150 plus 90. That's going to give me 240 subtracted from 360, which is simply 120. Therefore, women is 120 degrees. Good. So since we've gotten that, the next step we need to take is this. You say, what percentage of the population are women? Now, for us to get the percentage population that are women, I'm going to try to find out. Now, I'm going to try to find out the total population of the village first, because now we're given the number of children in the village as 3,000. Ordinarily, when you're solving problems on pie chart, they usually tell you to represent the whatever data was given you. They usually tell us to represent it in a pie chart. So that means you'll be given real numbers and then you have to convert them to angles. But this time we're going to be working from the angles back to the real numbers. So it's like working from front to the back. So what we are going to do is simply to say, since we have the children, we were given the total number of children as 3,000 in the village. Ordinarily, what we needed to do, or what we would have done if we had wanted to get the angle for the children, is to say 3,000 divided by the total. So I'm going to call the total x times 360 degrees, which is the total sum of angles in a pie chart. Then that should give us 150 degrees. So we want to use this to get our value for the x, which is the total population of the village. So what are we going to do? Then we multiply. When we multiply 3,000 by 360, this is going to give us 0, 0, 0, 0. 3 times 6 is 18. 3 times 3 is 9 plus 1, that's 10. So we have this over x, then 150 degrees. So the next step I would have to take is to do what? Cross multiply. When I cross multiply, I'm going to get 150x to be equal to 1080000. Yes. So that's it. Then the next part of the question is, the next thing we will do is to divide. I'm going to divide through by 150. When I divide through by 150, now I can simply take off these zeros. Then I have 108,000 divided by 15. And that gives me 7,200. So this is the total population of the village. Total population of the village. Total population of the village. But now we're looking for the percentage of the population that are women. So what are we supposed to do? Since we want to get the percentage population that are women, all we need to simply do is, okay, that's the first part of the question actually. Say the percentage that are women. So let's call it, now I'm going to still apply the same similar method, because now I need to first of all get to know the exact value, okay, that are for women, the exact population of the women. So how am I going to get that? The exact population of the women is supposed to be divided by the total population and multiplied by the 360 degrees to give us 120 degrees, which is the angle. So since we were not given the total population, we're trying to do that from front to the back to in order to get the answer. So yes, we can break this down like this. Now let's see, 720 can be divided by, yeah, 720 can be divided by 36. So 36 here, 1, 720, 36 and 720 gives us 20. So this has been reduced to x over 20 equals 120. Then all I need to do here is to cross multiply, and I'm left with x equals 120 times 20, and that gives me 2,400. So 2,400 here is actually the population of the women, but we need to, the question doesn't say we should find the population of the women. Rather, it says we should give the what percentage of the population are women. So since we've gotten this, all we need to do now is to simply divide. So percentage that are women is simply percentage population that are women is simply giving us total number of women over the total population times 100. So that's going to give us the percentage. So we have this. Now 2,400 divided by 72 gives us 33.3%. So 33.3% is the population, percentage population of women is 33%. Percentage population. Population of women. Good. So that's the first question actually. Then the second question says, what is the total population of the village? Well, we've already gotten the total population of the village. So the second part of the question, I'm sorry, I'm just going to write it here. I. The second part of the questions is 7,200. Then for the third part of the question, the question says, how many men are there in the village? How many men are there in the village? So that's also simple. All we need do is to, since we have the, so how many men are there in the village? So what we need to do is to, first of all, the angle given us for men is 90 degrees. Then the total number of people, that is a population, is 7,200. Sorry, not degrees, 7,200. Now we want to know how many men are in the village. All we simply need to do is that the total number of men in the village is supposed to be divided by the total population and multiplied by 360 degrees to give us 90 degrees. So you see, all we're just trying to do is to use what we have to get what we want. Now, yes, we can, this can go, divide this. Now, 36 can go into 720 20 times. So we are left with x over 20 equals 90 degrees. Now we have x, of course, I'm going to cross multiply, and I'll be left with x equals 90 times 20, and that gives me 1,800. So the number of men in the village or population is 1,800.